Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into uh, a really fascinating, high-stakes part of the defense industry, one that most people, well, probably don't even think about.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine this. The world's most advanced fighter jet. It's up there, mission critical, but boom, the weapon system jams.
Right.
Not because of the missile itself, but because the unseen mechanism loading it failed.
Yeah.
That's the world of ammunition handling systems. So our mission for this deep dive, pull back the curtain a bit. We're going to unpack the latest market trends, future opportunities, and crucially, the challenges for these vital systems. And it's all based on a detailed market research report.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's get into the hidden story behind the firepower. So to kick us off, these unsung heroes, as we're calling them, they're clearly critical. But for anyone maybe less familiar, what exactly are ammunition handling systems, or AHS? What do they cover, according to the source, and why are they just so important for modern defense?
Right. So ammunition handling systems, they're basically like the circulatory system for weaponry on a platform.
Okay.
They're designed to manage ammunition safely, efficiently, reliably, through its whole life cycle on that platform. So loading, unloading, secure storage, transport, the works.
A whole chain.
Exactly. And their importance, well, it comes down to their direct impact on operational efficiency and, critically, safety.
Mm.
As nations everywhere are prioritizing modernizing their forces, these systems aren't just nice-to-haves anymore. They're absolutely foundational.
Foundational.
Yeah, to make sure weapons are ready and effective when it counts.
Mm.
Without a good AHS, even the most advanced weapon is, well, just dead weight.
That really paints a picture. It's not just having the big guns. It's making sure they work reliably under pressure.
Precisely.
Okay, let's talk numbers then, because the market here is seeing some pretty staggering growth financially. What figures jump out from the report?
Oh, the growth is definitely significant. The market was estimated around, let's see, USD 4,121.2 million roughly in 2024.
Okay, so over $4 billion now.
Yeah. And the projections, they show it surging to about USD 8,211.75 million by 2032.
Wow, double.
Which reflects a compound annual growth rate, a CAGR, of 9.00% over that period.
Doubling in less than a decade. That's huge.
Yeah.
So when you look at what's driving this tech advances, bigger budgets, global tensions, is there one factor that feels like the main engine here? Or is it just everything firing at once?
That's a good question. They all play a big role, obviously, but I'd argue the continuous improvements in military tech are sort of the bedrock.
How so?
Well, new tech doesn't just allow for new systems, it actually demands them.
Oh.
Which then has a knock-on effect on budgets and the need for more automation. And automation isn't just about saving labor, it's about speed and precision that, frankly, humans can't always match under combat stress.
Especially with new threats emerging.
Exactly. Then you have geopolitical tensions acting like an accelerant on top of that tech push. It just drives procurement.
Right.
We saw a striking example in the source. India's Adani Military and Aerospace, they just launched 2 huge facilities for ammo and missile manufacturing.
Lucky move.
Yeah, the report called it a watershed moment for India's private defense sector and their whole push for self-reliance.
That really highlights how these global factors are pushing countries to buy more defense gear, including these handling systems.
Absolutely.
So, okay, let's pivot to geography and the players. Where is this growth actually happening? Which regions are really leading the pack?
Geographically, North America had the biggest slice in 2023, about 35% of the total market.
Okay, a third.
Yeah. Europe was next with around 30%, and then Asia-Pacific, which the report flagged as a real hotbed of growth, was about 25%.
Interesting split. What about North America's growth? You mentioned it's surging.
Yes, it's projected to hit that 35% share again by 2024, but with the highest CAGR, 13%. That's largely driven by higher defense spending, the U.S. DoD's long-term strategy, but also, interestingly, factors tied to civilian arms use and domestic security concerns, too.
So a mix of factors there.
Right. And in Europe, growth is partly linked to, the shifting security landscape and regional stability challenges.
Makes sense.
Then in Asia-Pacific, you've got countries like China and India investing heavily in upgrading their military forces, dealing with violence, and also buying ammo for law enforcement because of rising crime rates.
So different regions, slightly different cocktails of reasons driving the demand.
Not much, yeah.
Okay, so with all this growth, who are the main companies? Who are the big players dominating this pretty competitive space? And what makes them stand out?
Well, looking at 2023, the key players included Meggitt Defense Systems. They held about 18% market share.
Okay.
Then General Dynamics around 16%, and Nobles worldwide with about 14%.
So those three have nearly half the market.
Roughly, yeah.
Hmm.
And their dominance comes from, well, partly their huge existing military portfolios, but also their tech capabilities. They offer really advanced stuff like automated handling systems for ships and land vehicles, better storage, faster loading.
Cutting-edge solutions.
Exactly. And these firms, they're constantly focused on modernizing equipment across air, sea, and land. Plus, they use strategies like partnerships, mergers, acquisitions to keep expanding their offerings and, stay ahead of the curve.
Right, it's a dynamic field.
Yeah.
Okay, that paints a clear picture of the leaders. But of course, growth like this rarely comes without challenges. What did the report say were the biggest hurdles or roadblocks for this industry?
Yeah, definitely challenges. One of the main ones is just the sheer cost, both development and maintenance.
Cost. Always a factor.
Always. I mean, advanced AHS needs cutting-edge tech automation, modularity.
What's modularity again in this context?
Ah, good question. It means components can be easily swapped or reconfigured, so you can adapt the system for different missions or platforms without a total redesign.
Got it. Flexible.
Right. And they need real-time diagnostics, too, to predict problems. Now, integrating all that into diverse platforms, tanks, ships, planes, it takes incredibly precise engineering, tons of R&D, rigorous testing to meet military standards. Plus, the materials themselves, lightweight composites, high-grade alloys, needing to resist harsh conditions, it all just drives the cost way up.
So complex engineering meets expensive materials.
You got it. And then there's the other big impediment, the strict regulatory and safety standards.
Which you'd absolutely expect. Dealing with live ammo.
Oh, absolutely essential. I mean, the risks in combat, under high stress, you can't cut corners.
Oh, kidding.
So you need adherence to military certifications, and these vary by country, by platform. It involves exhaustive testing, extreme temperatures, vibration, impacts, all while ensuring the operator is safe, preventing accidents. These aren't guidelines, they're hard requirements.
Non-negotiable. Those sound like pretty significant hurdles, especially the cost and that complex web of regulations.
They definitely are.
So looking beyond those challenges then, what about the future? What are the really exciting developments we can expect to see in AHS? Where is it all going?
Well, building on those needs for efficiency and safety, we're going to see continued advancements in automation.
Faster loading, less human intervention.
Exactly. Faster, more precise loading and reloading, which is critical in combat,
Right.
reducing human exposure to risk.
Makes sense.
There's also a big push for more digital integration. Think improved diagnostics, real-time data monitoring, even predictive maintenance.
So the system tells you it needs fixing before it breaks.
That's the goal.
Thank you.
It boosts reliability and gives commanders better situational awareness.
Okay, what else?
We'll also see more focus on energy efficiency, which is becoming important everywhere, and integration with unmanned systems.
Like drones.
Yeah, drones, autonomous ground vehicles, allowing for remote or even fully autonomous ammunition handling in some scenarios.
Wow, that's a lead.
It is. And just as a sort of side example showing broader application, the report mentioned Dana Safety Supply becoming the sole supplier for G9 defense ammo products for law enforcement in 13 U.S. states. So these advanced handling ideas are filtering out.
Interesting. So the core drivers remain, though.
Yeah.
Safety, efficiency.
Absolutely. The future growth really hinges on that continued emphasis on military safety and operational efficiency, plus, ongoing geopolitical tensions expanding the market, governments wanting stronger domestic manufacturing, and just continuous R&D investment.
This has been genuinely fascinating, a really insightful deep dive. We've covered the huge growth, the complex challenges, and the really innovative future for ammunition handling systems.
Yeah.
It's so clear these behind-the-scenes techs are absolutely vital. They're actively shaping what modern defense forces can actually do.
Yeah, and if you sort of connect it to the bigger picture, the evolution of AHS isn't just about moving bullets around faster.
Right.
It's a direct reflection of how militaries are adapting. Adapting to global tensions, yes, but also prioritizing soldier safety much more and integrating really cutting-edge tech for operational success. And it does raise an important question looking forward. How will these systems keep evolving as warfare gets more and more automated, more reliant on AI?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Will we see a future where these systems aren't just handling ammo, but maybe actively optimizing combat logistics in real time, learning and adapting on the fly?
A future where the unsung heroes might even be calling some of the shots, logistically speaking.
Potentially, yeah.
That is a vital question indeed. As warfare changes, it really seems these systems become even more critical to the whole strategy. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive today, and thank you, the listener, for considering the profound impact of these seemingly niche technologies on the wider world. It definitely gives you something to mull over.
It certainly does.
Until next time.